Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How are you? I hope you've had a wonderful week so far. And welcome to our weekly style snack. If you're new here, I go live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and I share a style snack with you. We have been talking about signature style, creating your signature style, and what that means. And right now, we are in the midst of our style twist challenge. We do a shop your closet challenge every season. It's one of our very favorite things. It's so fun. And this season, we're taking a new twist on it, and we are incorporating our classic style twists and playing basically grown up dress up, figuring out what details we love, which ones suit us, and kind of getting a start on that whole signature style. And today, I want to share with you 5 tips to help you with your signature style and finding your signature style. It's been so fun to see all of your outfits. And if you haven't joined, it's not too late. Every time you share one of your outfits in the group, you are entered to win a $100 Kendra Scott gift card. We're doing a giveaway. I just love her jewelry. I have several pieces, and this is not sponsored. I paid for the gift card myself. It's just, there's something for everyone at Kendra Scott. You can customize your pieces at the color bar, and it's just a lot of fun. And it just adds something fun to the challenge. So I've really enjoyed seeing your outfits and how you're incorporating your classic style twists. And I have been playing along. If you saw my post last night. And it's, anyway, I enjoy it and I appreciate you participating. So today, let's talk about these tips. And first, I want you to close your eyes and imagine with me that you are standing in front of your closet every morning, already knowing that you're going to love today's outfit. Any day, every day, any outfit, every outfit, because everything in your closet is your favorite and it suits you perfectly. And imagine that you will look put together, stylish, ready for the day, and perfectly you in the outfit that you put on, even if it's something as simple as jeans and a top. And this may sound like a fantasy, but it can be your reality. It's become my reality. And that is how come I know it's possible, because I didn't feel that way for most of my life. My closet was sort of a nightmare. I didn't like most of what was in there. It was packed so tightly I couldn't find anything. And it was packed with things that I had bought because I thought I should, because they were on sale, because I liked how they looked on other people, but they weren't me. And they weren't honest to who I am. So the first step in creating a wardrobe that is perfectly you is understanding who you are and the elements of what your signature style would be. Creating your signature style is a very personal thing. And by definition, every signature style is unique, right? That's what makes it a signature style. So many things factor into it, but once you nail it, it's like second skin. I feel so comfortable, confident, and content in my clothes. I'm not fighting with them mentally or emotionally. And I just love everything I put on. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I still sometimes wear things and go, I don't think that was good. That didn't, like last summer, there was something that I wore that ended up being super preppy. I looked like I had just walked off the golf course. And after I took my picture that day, I was like, that's not me. That's too preppy, too cute. But now I can see it, right? And go, definitely was not the thing for me. So let's talk about these 5 tips. The very first tip I have for you is to be honest with yourself. Who are you? I mean, really, who are you? Versus who do you want to be? So there are some parts of our lives and behaviors that are very much a choice. You can choose to be positive, a hard worker, kind, generous, helpful. And there are core parts of you that are just who you are. I am an introvert. I always have been. I always will be. And trying to talk myself out of being that is just a recipe for anxiety, honestly. I have my social extroverted moments, and they require a recovery period after. These style snacks are a fun part of my week that I look forward to, but as soon as the camera turns off, I turn off. I shut down and I retreat, and I need to recover for like 30 minutes after. Does that mean who I am on camera is a lie? No. Is that person I am after the camera turns off a lie? No. They are different parts of me, but they're a balancing act. And so I'm also driven. I have a sharp tongue and a sharp wit, and I have sharp edges. I'm a doer. I get things done. I have a busy brain. I'm a thinker. I'm very introspective. I'm cautious. I'm practical. Some people think I'm intimidating until they get to know me. But I have a kind of a sharp edge to me that people pick up on. And I am not what other people would call fun. I have my own version of fun, and it usually involves work, cleaning, digging, organizing, accomplishing things. I think accomplishing things is fun. I have a hard time not doing things, not doing something, getting something done. I am not lighthearted. I'm not giggly. I'm not soft spoken. I'm not tender. I'm not really a hugger. I do love to hug my family. Like, I cannot hug my kids enough. And I hug my husband. Sometimes I'm just like, now I need a little space, please, because I've been hugging all the kids. But if you're not my immediate family, probably not going to get a hug out of me. I have my exceptions, but it's just not, I am not naturally someone who walks up and hugs people. And I didn't want to be me for a long time. I thought that who I was wrong, and I wanted to be all those things I'm not. I love people who are fun and giggly. In fact, I am drawn to those people. My husband is fun. Thank goodness. Or our kids would just maybe call it, work detail. Every day is work detail. And he's the one who says, maybe after like lunch, we should stop with the work and go do something fun. And I'm like, I'm having a lot of fun. You all aren't having fun? He's fun. I am drawn to his fun. My friends tend to be fun and make me laugh because that's not who I am, and I enjoy getting that energy from them. But I thought that if I dressed that way, I could be that way, and it just doesn't work. So by finally accepting who I am and being the very best version of myself, I'm demonstrating true self-love. And dressing in a way that tells everyone else who I am, I'm showing them love. So being honest with myself was a key component to finding my signature style. The next tip I have for you is to pick 3 words. Now that you're being honest about who you are, if you had to pick 3 words that would describe your ideal style to represent who you are, and not a style that you just admire on someone else, what would they be? So during the lost years when I was, trying to figure this out, I filled out a worksheet. I don't remember where I got it, but it was kind of this like find your signature style worksheet that I downloaded on somebody's blog. And I came across it years later, and my top 3 words that I had written were classic, timeless, and chic. And I had written something about French style, like that French aesthetic. And the sad thing is, I was so far down my lost path, I didn't even recognize that that was how I had dressed for most of my life. I mean, I I don't think I had the definitely didn't have it nailed, but classic and timeless, like that is what I've always been drawn to, always. So now looking back, now that I'm out of the woods, it's as clear as day. Duh, I dressed that way for years. And then I got lost, and now I've come back. So once you pick your words, do you recognize yourself in your past? Is there a time in your life when you did dress that way? And how did you feel? Did it feel comfortable and confident and natural? Do you connect any of those words with any of the classic style twists? We talked about those last week. I did a special style snack every day covering each of the 5 classic style twists: cute classic, edgy classic, minimal classic, soft classic, and sporty classic. And those are not the only 5 variations of style out there. They're just the ones that I've written about. And we did a deep dive in those. So if you missed those, you can find them on my website. You can also find them under the videos tabs on this page. But they may not necessarily mean what you think they mean. And that was the big aha moment that so many of you had last week, that you assumed it meant this, and then you realized it meant that, and you recognized yourself. So do you see yourself in there? It's okay if you don't. These aren't the only twists on style out there, and you should never force yourself to fit into a space that wasn't cut for you. But if you do, these style twists can give you a direction to start with. The next tip I have for you is trend with caution. One thing that will derail you faster than anything else is trends. The fashion industry's number one job should be to make us look and feel amazing, but it's not. Their number one job is to make money. And they do that by changing styles, convincing us that we are out of style, and offering to resolve that problem with more stuff in exchange for our money. I have a secret for you. Do you know what's truly in style always? Your style. You might have thought I was going to say classic style. That's true. But no, it's your style. If it suits you, if it makes you look and feel amazing, it is in style. Every day, all the days, all the years, no matter what is trending out there. And when you can love and accept yourself and your style, it is so freeing. You will never look better than when you are wearing what you look amazing in and what you feel amazing in. You can wear the most trendy, Insta-worthy outfit out there, but if it's not you, the outfit will wear you and not the other way around. You won't look that great. The outfit will look great, but you won't. So I do want to be clear that this doesn't mean that you can never evolve, adapt, add, or change anything about your style ever again. Incorporating the trends that work with your style is how you stay modern and updated and possibly find new things to love. The key is to be selective in which trends you adopt. Does it go with your style? Then that is perfect. Or is it something that incorporating it into your style will expand it and make you feel even more amazing? Then it's a yes. If it feels like you're putting on a costume, like you want to peel it off, makes you feel ridiculous, it's a no. We talked a lot about that last year and how to know the difference between style and fashion. So my next tip for you is give it time. As possibly the world's least patient person, once I decide I want something, I want it yesterday. Second choice would be right now. And when I decided to find my signature style, I wanted to nail it immediately. I expected perfection, clarity, wisdom, and knowledge to infuse my being right now, if that works for you. Okay, thanks. And I wanted my wardrobe to be perfect today. I need this to happen right now. And that didn't happen, as you can imagine. Instead, I tried too hard. I was trying to force it. I was trying to be super awesome and super stylish. And in the last few months, I've shown you some of my major fails of when I was just trying so hard. I made a lot of mistakes for a long time trying to fit into other people's ideas of what my style should look like. And I finally calmed down. It took a long time. I gave myself the space and grace to be myself. And I put away the rules that others had put on me. And I stopped trying to be super awesome and stylish. And I started being myself, wearing what I love, not what others thought I should love, not what I thought others would love, and not what I loved on others. Was that confusing? I stopped trying to please others. I stopped trying to copy others. And I stopped trying to follow the trends, essentially. So it takes time, experimentation, patience, honesty with yourself, and space. It's a process and a journey. And anyone who tells you that it's not is lying. And it can be a fun process if you allow it to be, if you give yourself that space and that grace. And I know I'm not the only one who has this expectation, this very, very unreasonable expectation of personal perfection, and beating myself up over not doing something right. And instead of viewing it as I made a mistake, I now view it as I just learned something. I don't like that. That's great. So give it time and give yourself grace. My next tip is do the work. Your signature style is so unique to you, no one else can possibly hand it to you. I know that sounds like an ideal situation, but anybody who hands you your style is handing you a package, a pre-formulated package meant to fit a lot of people. That can be a great starting point, don't get me wrong, but it will never be your signature style. And so I wish more than anything that I could pull out a wand and I could be your fairy godmother and bippity boppity boo each one of you just like Cinderella. I mean, that's what I wanted. Is it really too much to ask? So it is. This is never going to happen.
But don't you think my dress? Yes, it's lovely, dear. Good heavens, child. You can't go in that. Now, let's see, dear. Your size and the shade of your eyes. Something simple. But daring do. Oh, just leave it to me. What a gown this will be.
Oh, it's a beautiful dress. Did you ever see such a beautiful dress? And look, glass slippers. Why, it's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
It's not going to happen that way. I wish I could. I wish I could do that for you, but I can't, and nobody else can either. This will require work. It requires thought, it requires experimentation, trial, and error. No one else can define you. And while that's frustrating, it's also comforting because it confirms that you are a unique individual. You are not like anybody else out there. And while some of us will have, similarities in our styles, there will always be that special twist that is just yours. Spring is one of my favorite seasons, and it's because I love to garden. I love watching the earth come to life. It's magical. Every year I start my seedlings and then I wait. I want to see those plants right now. But they grow and they bloom in their own time. The tomatoes I start in February won't yield fruit until August or September, but it's always worth the wait to eat a garden fresh tomato. It's the same with your style. Finding your signature style, you start planting those seeds. You water them, you nurture them, you fertilize them, you protect them if some bad weather comes along, and they start to grow, they start to develop, they start to bloom and blossom and yield fruit for you. It takes time. It's a process, but it's always, always worth it. So my fifth tip for you is to find a guide. Just because no one can bippity boppity boo you, it doesn't mean you have to do it alone. While I cannot tell you who you are or what your signature style is, if you love classic style, I can guide you down that path and help you put it together. This year in the Stunning Style Society, we are doing the Year of the Twist, and this is something I am so excited about. In addition to the seasonal wardrobe guides, the curated seasonal wardrobe, the 100 outfit, inspiration outfit ideas, the outfit calendars, the shopping portal, we have weekly lessons. And this year, the theme of those weekly lessons, they're called Style Steps, is going to be the classic style twists. Members of the society get to choose one twist, and each week they will get a lesson on incorporating that classic style twist. For the whole year, we're going to be doing this slowly, consistently, a little at a time, planting those seeds, watering them, fertilizing them, tending to them as they grow, and getting the fruit at the end, right? It's going to be so much fun. I cannot even wait. I've already planned out the whole year and what we're going to discuss. And this is going to be such an important part of creating your signature classic style. And, we shared it with the members and they were so excited too. It's all we've been talking about. And this week, the doors to the society opened for spring. They only open 4 times a year for a week. The doors opened on Monday for the waiting list and Tuesday for everyone else. And they close again on Tuesday until summer comes. And I promise you, you do not want to miss this. Finding your style will never be more fun than this. The members of the society are getting this as part of their membership. At the end of the year, I'm going to release these as courses, but the society members are getting it as part of their membership this year. So no one else will be able to access it until for a year. And then it will be sold as a separate product as 5 courses. So they're not only getting it included in their membership, they're getting it a year before anybody else. So by the end of the year, you could have gone so far and come so far in developing your own classic signature style, in addition to getting the wardrobe guides. So this is the spring wardrobe guide. Here, I've got to open the cover. It's so shiny, it'll just reflect in your face. This is the spring guide. And, you know, I've had so many of you asking me about, you know, pieces that you see me wearing, like the necklace I wore last week. It's featured in the guide this season. So, you know, you get a catalog of the pieces that I've chosen and curated. This season, there are 35, 36 pieces. And then there are the outfits. I create 100 outfits for you from those pieces. Most of them you can shop your closet for. That's the whole purpose, is to shop your closet. And I specifically and intentionally base them on items that you probably have in your closet. Then I include a few fresh, fun pieces that you can either shop your closet for, or shop around for, or thrift for, or whatever you want to freshen up your wardrobe. We build a shopping portal if there is anything you want or need, that you can find all of these items plus alternates to incorporate your classic style twist. So for it's not all the items, because sometimes an item is so special and unique, we call those unicorn items. That is the only one out there. But as often as possible, we find a variation that is for a class or a cute classic, or an edgy classic, or a soft classic, or a sporty classic. Everything in the guide is minimal classic. And that's on purpose. And then in the society, we learn how to take these minimal classic outfits and add your twist so that it represents you perfectly. So most of us don't wear the outfits exactly as they are. We all shop our closets first. We shop, you know, we do it based on our personal climates. Spring is very temperamental. And it might be snowing at your house. It's 68 and sunny at my house today. I know some of you don't like hearing the weather report, but I'm obsessed with the weather. I think of weather.com as God's own personal website, and he's just, you know, telling me. And but you might be under a snow advisory today. And next week it's going to be raining again. So spring is just temperamental everywhere. So we take these outfits and we adapt them for what the weather is doing today. And the key is, you know, why bother? Like, why bother with the spring guide? Why can't I just, you know, stick to my winter wardrobe? Well, we change things up with the color palette. We change things up based on how we combine things, the color combinations. There are just little tips and tricks that I incorporate that make this outfit feel like spring, even if you have to dress for snow. So it's one of the great ways to get through the crazy temperamental temperatures is to wear that spring feeling, even if the weather is not agreeing with you. And it really does lift your mood. It lifts my mood. Because, you know, we've moved this year and now I'm back in the South where the spring is going to be pretty nice. Let's be honest. But that's not where I lived the last 10 years. The last 10 years, it snowed most of the spring. It snowed on Memorial Day several years ago. The ski resorts were open through the 4th of July. Like, you just don't know what spring is going to bring, but it's usually cold and nasty. So I have lived through the nasty springs, many, many, many of them. And I know where you're coming from. And I've lived through the more temperate, idealized springs, and that's where I live now. But during those 10 years, particularly, dressing in ways that made me feel like spring, even when it was snowing, really helped me not be so sad that it was snowing and that I had to put walls of water over all my tomato plants so that I could get tomatoes before the first snowfall or first hard frost in the fall. So this year is going to be so much fun. And I kind of love that we're starting this in the spring, right? Because this is when we're going to start planting the seeds of our personal style, and we're going to nurture this garden all year long. It will be so much fun doing this with a group of women who are doing the exact same thing on the same journey, doing it together. will be fun. It'll be inspiring. Having a guide to walk you through it. Ultimately, all the choices are yours. I offer you options. I offer you ideas. I said it so many times last week. It's like a buffet. I offer you all the options. You decide which of those options work for you. How much of that? Do you want half a plate of mashed potatoes, a spoonful of mashed potatoes? Are you going vegetarian? Are you going to be a carnivore today? Do you prefer something lighter like a salad? So it's all up to you, but I provide you with information to take and adapt to make it perfectly yours. So this is the perfect season and time to embrace some change. And if you are missing out on what you feel like could be your signature classic style, then I would love for you to join me in the society. There is no kinder place on the internet than the Stunning Style Society Facebook group. And you will get so much support and love there. And this will just be a ball. And it's the closest I can come to being your fairy godmother. So you can learn more by going to stunningstyle.com/society to get all the details. And if you have any questions, let me know here. I'm happy to answer them. And I would love to know which of these tips was the most helpful for you. Are there any that you've personally been struggling with? Did anything jump out at you and you're like, that's been my problem? Or all of them have been my problem? Or, tell me what you're struggling with. I would love to know. So let's take a look at the comments. Clarinda says, me too. Ooh, what it was me too? You too. Tell me, Clarinda, I'm dying to know. Michelle says, most of the attributes you described sound like me. I wish I was more extroverted. I'm a loner. I am an empath and really absorb and affected by the emotions around me. That can be really draining. So I totally get the need for recovery time. Yeah, totally. Me too. Maybe Clarinda was saying me too about that because I just said me too. So wishing you were an extrovert won't make it so. I know for a fact. But you can be the best version of yourself and love yourself as you are will be a huge step toward happiness, to be totally honest. And understanding that you can be really affected by people's emotions, that you need that downtime, you need that recovery time, will make your interactions with others that much more positive because you're giving yourself that space. Karen says, in years past, I referred to my clothing pieces as basics, but they really were classic pieces. Yeah, most of my wardrobe it's wardrobe staples. Most of it. And it's the stuff I wear over and over and over and over and over again. It's the stuff I love the most. I do love those unicorn items and those special pieces. I just don't wear them anywhere near as often as I do my wardrobe staples, and that is the hallmark of a minimal classic. Rachel says, I'm so glad I found Stunning Style. I realized that I had strayed off my signature path. I've always been a cute classic. I needed to update my wardrobe, but I didn't need to get rid of cute all the way. I let others influence me too much. So glad I'm on the way to letting me be me. Rachel, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate that you shared that because we are influenced. All of us are in every aspect of our lives. But when you become aware, and sometimes the influence is good, right? And a lot of that influence isn't meant to be negative. We're influenced by seeing someone who is wearing something that suits them so perfectly that they just glow in it and they walk around confidently. We talked about this a lot last week with the classic style twists, that it can make us think that if I wear that, I'll look like she does and I'll feel that confident. And we admire it on her. But when we try to wear it, we feel ridiculous because it's not really us. And learning that difference is really important, and allowing yourself to be you. That's fantastic. Michelle says, I was never confident in how I dressed until this course, but I still struggle to articulate what style I am. The only one of the 5 I am not is soft. I think I am an almost equal mix of the other 4. So I think Michelle's talking about the perfectly put together course. And that one's great for getting the foundations of certain things right. And that's for women of any style. This one is very specific to classic style and the variations of classic style, and really dialing in the specifics of those twists and how to apply them to yourself. One of you says, great perspective. I feel like I made another mistake. I am learning. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just changing how you frame something changes everything. I used to beat myself up for any purchasing mistake. I can't believe I wasted my money on that. Look at this thing I'm getting rid of. I never even wore it. It still has the tags on it. Sorry, my reflux. I didn't have time to take my reflux medicine before we went on. I'm not sick. So now I can say that wasn't a mistake. That was a learning opportunity. That was a lesson. And now I know I don't like that. And I won't buy that again. Right? I use it as a chance to analyze and say, what didn't work about this? And now I know. And it's just like going to school, right? It was money well spent. Linda says, actually, I was thinking yesterday that one thing of the many that I've learned from Stunning Style is not to try too hard. Less is more sometimes. Oh, Linda, that's a wonderful lesson to learn. Try. If you're having to try, it's probably not the right thing for you. When you have to try it. And I'm staring at something on my desk right now that I'm trying to make myself try. I'm so guilty. I buy all these things to check them for the wardrobe guide. And there was something that I ordered and I thought, oh, that could be fun to feature. And then I ended up choosing something else. And I'm packing up all the returns. I keep a few things and I return most of it. And there's this thing that I was like, do I keep that? And I even, right before I turned on the camera, I walked over, I pulled it out of the bag, I put it on, and I took it right off before I turned the camera on because I want to like it. I have to try to like it. I have to make myself. And once it's on, I'm like, okay, no, this is fine. But I don't naturally think to wear it. If you know what it is, if you have a guess of what I'm talking about, let's see if you can figure out, because I've discussed this one before. It's something I keep trying to make myself wear. So Linda, have you been spying on me? Can you see me in my office? Was the camera actually on? If I have to make myself or try too hard, then it's not really me. And that's such a good, and less is more. Absolutely. Jennifer says, although you are not the fairy godmother, you do share magic ideas. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I am never here to convince you to do anything, ever. What I share and what I offer is not for everyone. I do not have the style, ideas, and formula for all women. If you love classic style, I think I'm your girl. I've nailed it. But if you're not drawn to classic style, then I really genuinely hope you find the person who can help you with the style you're drawn to. So I love to share ideas. And if they work for you, then that thrills me. And if they don't, and you're like, no, that doesn't sound like me, then please ignore me, because I would never want to be the person who convinces you to wear something that doesn't feel good for you. So when people ask me, should I join the society? Well, my first question is, do you love classic style? Because if the answer is no, then don't. It's not for you. Jen Harkin says, patience? I've heard of this concept somewhere. I know. I keep hearing about it. I'm thinking about doing a study on it. If I put out a white paper, I'll send it your way. Kim says, I love seeing how I grew during the new 2 years I've been with you. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, those of us who are in the society and we watched Kim's journey, it's been incredible. Incredible. She has shared some before and afters in the capsule group as well. And it's wow. So if you've never seen it, just search, take a look in the group. One of you says, I struggle with being honest about what I actually will wear versus all the beautiful clothes out there that I want to wear. You're not the only one. That's a very, very common problem, as I just mentioned. I still have to just stop and go, come on now. You're not going to wear it. Brenda says, I am an introvert who needs recovery time, yet come across as an extrovert to many due to learned behavior. I have so much in my closet, which isn't me, even after 2 big and multiple small purges. And they look great on others, but don't make my heart sing. It's true. I get it. As little girls, we're supposed to be extroverts. As moms, we're supposed to be soft and tender and quiet. You know, like there are all these shoulds related to the stages of a woman's life, especially, oh my gosh, if you turn 50, like you need to start, you really need to dial it down, right? Like we're hammered with these ideas of what we should be as a woman at different stages, ages of our life, and what our profession is. Like you can only be like this if this is where you are in life. And it's so unfair because having babies did not make me not me anymore. Turning 40 did not make me not me anymore, right? And turned 40 not yesterday. So I get it. And being honest about what looks great on others but doesn't make your heart sing. It's a common trap to fall in. It's easy to admire when someone else looks perfect in what they're wearing. Learning the difference is key though. Rachel says, wow, hearing about the introverts and extroverts, I'm realizing that I've found some of the right introverts to accept my cute extrovert self and love me. I've let the wrong for me introverts influence me because they tell me I'm too happy. I love aha moments. Yeah, I get it. So, like I said, my husband is a very fun person. He's much more of an extrovert than I am. One of my sisters-in-law is very much an extrovert. She's very fun and giggly and happy, and she's one of my very best friends. And sometimes I'll just have to go, I need a break. I need a break. And she just thinks that's hilarious, which I love. She can love me for my introverted self. I love her for her extroverted self, and we can both be honest. Like, because she would come and stay with me, come and visit, right? We can after, when the garden was producing, she would come and stay with me. She'd bring her kids. They'd come for like 3 or 4 or 5 days. We would can everything, anything that wasn't still attached to a plant. We were constantly canning. And I drink a smoothie every morning, and morning. And I was exhausted. We would stay up to like 2, 3 in the morning finishing a batch, is because that's just how I roll. It's how she rolls too. We're both kind of intense. And, working on 4 hours of sleep. There are 5,000 kids between my 6 and her 4. They're all the same age, really loud. And she would kept laughing because I had smoothie on my face. And finally I was like, I just need to be able to drink my breakfast alone and without commentary, please. And she was just like, okay. And she thought it was so funny, right? And so we have this dynamic that I can just finally say, and she's totally down. So I'm glad that you have found the right introverts because we love you. We need you. So I'm glad you're not too happy. Amelie says, I'm an extroverted introvert too. It can be confusing to people for sure. Yeah, because I'll be fine and then suddenly I'm done. And I just kind of shut down. And I have a relative who is the king of this. And we've laughed about it for years. He's like way more transparent about it than I am. I try to be whatever, but like we saw him last year. I mean, I hadn't seen him in over a year, right? And he came over to where we were sitting, and for like an hour and a half, we were just like laughing and talking and having a nice time. And then I was mid sentence, and all of a sudden, not a word, nothing. He just stood up and walked away. And I looked at my husband. I go, he's done. And just that morning, we had been talking about how he does this, and I was like, I think he's done. And we were laughing so hard. And the next day, I brought it up, and he goes, I did not do that. And I was like, oh, but you did. And he's like, I said goodbye. I excused myself. And I was like, no. I was like in the middle of a sentence, and you just like stood up, marched off, didn't look back, nothing. And he's like, I don't do that. And his wife was like, oh my gosh, you do it all the time. It was like, I could get a show of hands from the entire family. But we can laugh about it because we know he's done. He can be the most charismatic, magnetic, entertaining person in the room until he is finished. And then he's done. Goodbye. And if he cannot physically leave, he will power down just like Data on Star Trek. And you won't get another word out of him. So, yeah. I know, Amelie, it can be very, very confusing. Like they see you one day and you're like, blah, 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 and they see you another day and you go, and they're like, who are you? And you're like, I'm me. Just the other side of the coin. Oh, Mariette guessed it was a blazer. Oh no, I don't talk myself into blazers. I gave those up quickly and easily once I finally realized I don't actually like them. No, that is a good guess because I don't wear blazers. Marianne says, my problem is that I worked for 20 years in the elementary educational environment and always wore conservative but cute clothes. Now that I'm retired, I'm trying to find my style and know that it's all about me. So I'm pretty much starting from scratch in my wardrobe. I keep making mistakes and beating myself up about it. Listening to you today, I realized beating myself up will not help. It's a learning process. Thank you for this. I'm going to do the work and then choose my twist. If you learn nothing else from me ever, Marianne, that is a lesson I would want you to take away. Stop beating yourself up. It is not a mistake. It's a learning opportunity. It's a lesson. And be kind to yourself. Marcy says, exactly, I'm being influenced in choices. I'm told it looks great on me, and yet I don't feel the great. It's not classic twist so much as body shape that I need to focus on. Photos tell all, things, fairy godmother. Well, you're welcome. I would wear something much cuter though than the fairy godmother because, let's be honest, that cloak is not doing her any favors. She could, the hat alone needs to come off. Rose says, I appreciate your confidence and honesty, and that inspires me to be confident and honest in my style journey too. Well, thank you, Rose. And it was a journey for me to get here. So I've been on this path. I have been on this journey. I know where you're starting from. I have reached the endish. Like my style will always develop and, whatever a little bit, but I'm pretty solid in what I do and don't love. And so I can see where you've been. I've been there. I've followed this path, and I can light the path and guide you along to help you get there too. And that's so satisfying to me because I literally spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours figuring it out for myself. Most people don't have the time, the patience, the resources, or the energy to devote to that. And so I want to make it as easy as possible for you. But again, I can't do the work for you, but I can give you a framework to work within. Priscilla says you're gorgeous. Well, thank you. So are you. And they say happy belated birthday. Maybe you're talking to someone else. I think I may have spoken too fast. My birthday was not yesterday. I turned 44 and 7/8 years ago. My birthday's coming up, but no, I'll be turning 45 in a couple months. So if you're talking to me, I'm sorry, it wasn't my birthday yesterday. Michelle is guessing a double-breasted trench coat. So one of you wants to know who I was talking about. I just signed on. Oh, I was talking about a relative who's an introvert. He's an extroverted introvert, and how he can be super charismatic until he's done, and then he just walks away. And it's kind of funny because we understand it. Some people would probably think it's rude, but we can laugh about it because we love him and we know what it is. A double-breasted trench coat. Ooh, two of you guessed a trench coat. No, but that's a good guess because, oh, so close. I was at TJ Maxx in Atlanta. If you're ever in Atlanta, go to the TJ Maxx in Buckhead. They carry a lot of designer stuff. Buckhead is like the Beverly Hills of Atlanta. They had bright red, double-breasted Burberry trench coats at TJ Maxx for $700. And I was like, I have a thing about Burberry jackets. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I, A, have a red jacket I love. B, don't like double-breasted. C, I don't need that. D, that's a lot of money. Like, oh, it was so hard for me to walk away, but I did, and that's what matters. Cynthia says, I'm working to make great single choices as I go along. That's a great way to do it. Just one choice at a time. Patty asks, it's a scarf. Is that what you took off? Patty gets the prize. Ding, ding, ding. It is a scarf. It's right here. And I just want to love scarves so bad. It's a skinny scarf. And it's hot, it's a punch you in the face pink, and it has leopards on it. I love leopard. But leopards are a little more whimsical. But I just don't, and so I was like, so here's the truth. This is what started the skinny scarf obsession. I've told you what a nut I am and how I get these like fantasy whatevers. So we were watching The Transporter. Have you seen that movie from forever ago with, what's his name? He's Handsome Rob from the Italian Job. That's always what I call him. But you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, at the end of the movie, the girl is wearing an outfit. I'm totally going to wear this outfit, but just not with a scarf. You just wait. Because it was very edgy chic on her. But she was wearing jeans and a white t-shirt and a moto jacket, and she had on a skinny scarf tied like this. And I was like, oh, I love that outfit. And so that was my primary motivation for ordering this scarf, first of all. I did order a second one that is actually leopard. It hasn't arrived yet, but maybe someday. It's been like 3 weeks. But I'm totally going to wear that scarf and that outfit. And you guys are going to be like, oh, that scarf was meant for you. And I'm going to be like, I totally love scarves, you guys. I have so many scarves. I never wear them. Never. But I want to. So what do you think? Do you like my scarf? Cynthia says, not to have the desired wardrobe all at once, but cherish the single choices as I go along. That's perfect. Because you can't. Want ain't getting, right? And you can want to have the perfect wardrobe immediately, but that's just going to make you upset because it's not going to happen. So enjoy the journey because it's going to happen anyway. Like it has to be a journey. You may as well enjoy it. Donna says, is it possible to have a sporty twist, but you are not into sports or activities? Does a sporty twist just mean that you like adaptable and comfortable instead of being athletic? Yeah, you can be sporty and not be into sports. It means you're on the go. You are practical. You are busy, but it doesn't have to be with a sport. You value utility and function in your wardrobe very much. And you're not willing to baby anything. So if you haven't seen the sporty twist video or read that article, we did that one last week. You can find that on my website at stunningstyle.com. And in the top menu bar, there's a button that says classic style or something. And in that drop down is each one of the twists. Pam says, oh, I would have bought it. the trench coat. I don't like double breasted, like all that flapping. I can't. Like I love how they look on other people, and then I get it on me, and I feel like there's like I'm drowning in fabric. I can't. Michelle says, I love the look of scarves and want to like wearing them, but they make me feel like I'm suffocating. Same with turtlenecks. Not a good idea on a short neck. Oh, now I love turtlenecks. They are my very favorite. But scarves, I don't know. There was a time when I wore them a lot. Pam likes this scarf on me. Well, thank you. You are definitely winter. Oh, without a doubt. I've known that since I was 8 years old. Maybe under 7, because we lived in that house. We moved out of that house when I was 8. But my mom was into Color Me Beautiful, and I was draped as a winter when I was a little girl. Carrie says, tell us where it's from. I love your scarf. Is it not on the shopping portal, Carrie? If it's not, I'll add it. And then you can get it. Laura says, back away from the scarf if you're not 100%. I know, it's going back. I'll put it back in the return bag. Thank you. See, so just, to my point, I am not perfect. And I still have to stop. No, you do not want a whimsical scarf with leopards on it. I mean, that's just too, cute. And I'm not. Disha says, I love your journey, and I love that you don't care when you get the comments on Instagram that people think your outfits are boring, because for every person that says that, I know there is at least one person, me, grateful that you share them. I just don't always comment because I'm also an introvert. Haha, XO Disha. I know Disha, and I love you. Disha and I are friends in real life, and I hug her. Sometimes on accident. It happens. Well, yesterday someone didn't like my pointy shoes. Like, no one's there. You're not gonna like all my outfits, guys. You don't have to. It's not the point. I don't get dressed for any of you. I'm sorry if you think I do, but when I get dressed, I'm not thinking of any of you at all. I'm thinking of myself. What do I want to wear today? So nobody else factors into my wardrobe decisions anymore. Carrie says I didn't look because I have 2 scarves. Well, Carrie, look, and if it's not in there, tell me and I'll add it. Disha says, I literally just laughed out loud. Okay, I have to get off because I have an appointment, but I will tell you Disha's story. So we used to live in the same area, 45-ish minutes apart. Disha says, April only hugged me because I stole one. So we literally ran into each other at the mall one day. We both came around a corner like this and smacked into each other. And Disha hugged me, and she says that I said, oh, okay, well, we can hug. I don't think I said that, but she swears I did. We totally hugged. And now I always hug her when I see her because Disha likes hugs. And I love Disha, so I can hug her. Okay. I do have to go. If you have any more questions about the society or the guides, please leave them here. I'll come back and answer them. Or you can send me an email at info@stunningstyle.com. And you can learn more about the society and the guides at stunningstyle.com/society. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I would love for you to join us for the Year of the Classic Style Twist. Love to have you join us in the society. You will never have more fun finding your signature classic style. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you soon.